Okay, welcome. Welcome everybody to Introduction to the Dark Pools. How many of you here today have no idea what the dark pools are? It's like the first time you've ever heard of them. No idea. Let's see how many people we have. Okay. Hello, Raphael knows. Let's see, somewhat. Lori T in the training pit. Lori, I'm excited. I'm doing this presentation for you today because, yep. All right, some people are aware. Well, when I started out on social media, okay, 2013, I opened up a Twitter account. Actually, I didn't even open it up. Larry Berman opened it up for me. I was on tour with him across Canada. And he's like, you need a Twitter account. You know, I said, okay. I didn't even have one. And he opened one up for me. And of course, he called it Volume Princess, even though I was a stock whisperer. So, just to confuse everybody. And I started to post about the dark pool, and nobody knew what it was. They're like, what the heck is that? I'm like, what do you mean? How are you even trading without the dark pool? I didn't understand why anybody would ever put a trade on, not knowing where the institutional money flow is going. Yeah, the big guys. These are the guys controlling the market. So welcome to the dark pools today. I mean, I'm probably going to be changing the way you view the world today, especially the financial system, the stock market. You know, Wall Street and Main Street are two separate streets. And a lot of people confuse them and they lose a lot of money. It doesn't make sense. Why is the market not going up? Why is the market not going down, right? So not too many people in this industry are going to go on the line and tell you that the market is rigged and manipulated. No, I don't know. Do you know anybody else out there that are doing this right now? No, they're too scared that they might get eliminated on YouTube, right? I'm actually surprised they haven't taken my YouTube down yet. I'm going to show you guys proof. Yeah, I'm going to be showing you lots of cool stuff today. And I know a lot of people just don't want to believe it. I get it. You want to think that the world is fair and everything is, no. I know. If you want to be a successful trader on Wall Street, you need an edge. And today I'm going to be sharing my edge with you. I'm going to be exposing some forms of manipulation that Wall Street uses. And I'm going to teach you how to profit off this manipulation. That's the biggest part is, you know, if we can't beat them, we join them. Right? So I know a lot of things I shouldn't know. I definitely have lots of secrets, and I've shared them all over the place, really. Did you guys happen to catch my whisper of the day today? Yeah, how many of you were able to watch this video this morning? Now, if you're in the training pit, you literally watch me mapping this out at 3 o'clock in the morning if you live on the West Coast, 6 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, this is strictly for day trading. Okay, I'm going to teach you, day trading, swing trading, two different entities. These are just trades for today. Takes me about, let's say, start at 3, done at 5:30. So it takes me 2.5 hours to create this watch list, these whispers. I start with the SPY, the S&P 500, go to the Russell, go to the Qs. The reason I start with these three ETFs, it gives me a really big overall feel of where the market is and how to trade it. Next, I move on to the futures. How many of you trade futures? Any futures traders here? I personally do not trade futures. I can teach you how to do it though. Yeah, I watch them like a hawk. So if I'm trading the SPY, I'm watching the E-minis. If I'm trading the Russell, I'm actually watching the RTY futures. If I'm trading the NASDAQ, I'm watching the NASDAQ futures. If I'm trading oil stocks, I'm watching the oil futures. If I'm trading gold stocks, I'm watching the gold futures. If I am trading any crypto stocks, Mara, Riot, you'll see those on my whisper a lot. I'm watching the Bitcoin futures. I've also traded Bitcoin quite a few times. In fact, I did a workshop sharing my trades, my actual live trades on there, if you want to learn how to trade crypto. But it all comes down to levels. Bullish above, bearish below, and I always say no thinking in between, okay? The bullish above is where we go long. Do not front run these levels. Bearish below is where we go short. TGT is target. Those are all targets. Those are not new levels to go long. Those are where you should take your profit. I use pivots. I use Person's pivots. I use Camarilla Pivot Boss. I use moving averages. And of course, my number one indicator is the dark pool, DP. You'll see that on there. I do go into great detail in the training pit when I am teaching this subject, especially next week. I will be doing the futures, but I'll be teaching you about those pivots next week and how I use them. So stay tuned for that. Next, I choose my favorite stocks that have, not my favorite stocks, but I want to say my favorite stocks have at least 100,000 shares of pre-market volume before the market opens. What does that tell me? It tells me everything. I could see where the big guys are loaded to buy and sell on the book. Again, I look at the ECN books. I look to see where they're loaded. I look at the dark pool. Where has the dark pool been trading? And I map out my trades according to that. If you watch the video, I do try to teach a little bit every single morning. You can go on my YouTube channel and you can watch all of my videos going back to 2014. These trades, these are recommendations, have a 90% success rate, documented success rate since 2014. What does that mean? Means if it goes above my bullish above level and hits a target, it's a success, according to my legal department. Also, a little side note, I am not legally allowed to day trade these stocks the day I put out the whisper. That would be called front running. I do a lot of trades. I'm going to be sharing many of them with you today. I'm mostly a swing trader. I trade around the dark pool prints. I'm looking for the big moves, and I'm going to be sharing my secrets on that. Just kind of wanted to just go over today's whisper. You can see TLT. I've been swing trading that, hit all of my targets and went up. That's the last one on the bottom. Went to the 200 simple moving average. Now, if you look at your chart, look and see where it stopped today on the daily chart, right on the 200 simple moving average. All right, this is a very popular pattern, and this was a fantastic. Anybody get this trade today? This is a really great trade today. Hopefully you guys caught it. Bank of America was great on the short side. NEO was great. SPCE. Apple hit one target. JKS hit all the targets, and AMC hit all the targets on the downside, and bounced off some dark pool activity this morning, which was very interesting, actually. So a couple of years ago, my marketing team asked me to write a book on how to profit off the dark pool. Some of you may have seen my commercials on CNBC for a little while, Fox Business News, Bloomberg. I'm going to be honest, my traders did not want me to write this book. They begged me not to. They didn't want me sharing the secrets because they thought if I shared these secrets that things would change. And you want to know something? They're right. They did change. I'm going to show you that in a little while, how they changed things since my book came out, which is, I can't even believe that I was able to change the way they were kind of manipulating the market. I mean, they're still doing it. We see it, but it makes me laugh because who am I, right? I'm just like this little trader from New York. And my book was powerful enough for them to at least make some changes. And it's a good thing I did not share everything. I share a lot, but no way near everything that we know, which is a good thing. So if you haven't gotten the book, yeah, you can get a free copy. Go to darkpoolsecrets.com. If you live in the US, you just have to pay for shipping. If you live outside the US, I would be happy to personally send you a book. I'll autograph it. You can go to the darkpools.com. That's my personal website, thedarkpools.com, and you'll see the book there. So I share a lot of stuff in this book, and again, I'm going to be sharing a lot of it with you today. So stay tuned for that. But before I begin, I have to put on my risk disclaimer. The market's highly manipulated by the dark pool. Don't worry about it. I'm going to teach you how to profit. And please paper trade. So I'm going to ask a question. Yeah, so Iggy, if you live in Canada, just go to thedarkpools.com, thedarkpools.com, and you'll find it over there. Oh, Lori, you finished it yesterday? Fantastic. What was your favorite chapter, Lori? Always interested. You know, that one chapter they didn't want me to put in the book was about the Prince on Fear before a massive terror attack. Yeah, they begged me not to put it in. Don't put it in. Can't we take this out? I said no. People need to see this. I mean, come on. I have proof that there were massive trades on a fear index before a massive terror attack that supposedly nobody knew about, right? Well, somebody did. So, yep, crazy. I know. All right, chapter 8. Yeah, chapter 8 and 9 are good, but start from the beginning. Oh, great. You received it on Saturday, Rick? Awesome. Okay, great. So how many of you, I want everybody to put in the chat. I know I say this, but people don't do it, you know, and they lose a lot of money, and then they wish they did it, right? How many of you paper traded before you started trading with your real money to make sure your strategy works? And if you did, how many months or years did you do it? So Ron said, sadly, no. Okay, 3 months from Parabolic Phil. I love your name. 6 months, 3 months, 1 year. Good for you, TMI. Yeah, let's see who did it the longest. Let's see if anybody could beat me. 1 year, still paper trade. 1 month. Okay. 2 months. Now, I didn't go into this. You just jumped in. Okay. I didn't go into this career to be a trader. That is the crazy part. No, I majored in psychology in college. I love psychology. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love human behavior. I use psychology every single day, and I love it, but I just couldn't afford to continue going to school. I had a lot of student loans. I needed to get a job. I was putting myself, I've been independent since I'm 15 years old. Yep, on my own, working. I worked full-time through high school, full-time through college, and, you know, to be honest, I just couldn't go. I couldn't get a master's, and I just had to go to work. And I really got lucky. I landed a job at Schoenfeld Securities. Like, they didn't hire me, but Scotty did. Yeah, my boss. It was 1994. The summer of 1994. To make a long story short, my girlfriend Dahlia was genius, but she was lazy, and after college she went to Tufts University. She didn't want to work hard, so in the summer she went temping, and she got this job as a receptionist at Schoenfeld Securities, and she just didn't want to work hard. So she's like, oh, I'll just do some temping, and I'll just, be a receptionist at this, $1 million largest prop firm in New York, on Long Island, and they have an office in the city as well. So she gets this job, and across the way from her desk, she's right in the front, is the $1 million room, and she becomes friends with all of these traders in that room. And they invited a happy hour, and she didn't want to be the only woman going to happy hour, so she called me on the phone. Hey, Steph, can you come? And okay, sure. So it's a Friday, and I'm there, and I meet these guys, and they're amazing, and you could just tell they love their jobs, and one of them needs an assistant, and I go, well, I kind of need a job, and he's like, well, can you start Monday? I said, okay, I don't know anything about the market. And he goes, no problem. I'll teach you everything. It's easy. Literally, he said that. So there I am, Monday morning, June 1994, in the $1 million room at Schoenfeld Securities. Like, how the heck did I get here? And they put me in front of this machine called an Instinet machine. Dark pool liquidity. Dark pool liquidity. Nobody knew about the dark pool in 1994. I didn't even know about it, but here I am, and it's my job to do all the orders on this computer. And my boss tells me, he goes, Steph, this is where the big guys are doing all their trades, and just make sure that if we're buying a stock, nobody big is selling. Okay, what does that look like, Scotty? Well, you'll see all these big offers, all these large trades on the offer. If they're lined up here tell us and we won't buy it. And then if we're selling and they're lined up on the bid, you know, we're not going to sell because they're buying. And I said, oh, okay. Honestly, you guys, that's how I learned how to trade. And now I understood why these guys were making millions of dollars. They had the inside scoop. They had the holy grail. They could see where the big guys were doing their trades, and they were following the big guys. And you know, this is the secret. This is how I learned. Now, I wasn't trading. I was Scotty's assistant. It was amazing. And then about 2 years later, we had switched firms, actually twice, and we landed at On-Site Trading, run by Howard Jari and Gary Mednick in Long Island, in Great Neck on Cutter Mill Road, 98 Cutter Mill Road. And we're there, and all of a sudden Scotty announces, I'm moving to Florida, because he wanted to move to Florida. There's no state tax in Florida, and On-Site is opening up an office in Boca Raton, and he wants to go there. And I'm like, oh, that's the end of my job. Like, this was so much fun. I really love this. And I thought, like, I'm packing my bags and I'm heading out the door. And then all of a sudden, Howard calls me up, one of the owners, and he calls me down to his office. Hey, Steph, we heard Scotty's leaving. And I said, I know, I'm so upset. Like, I'm going to have to find a new job. And he said, well, how about you trade for us? I'm like, really? Yeah, you've been trading Scotty's account every day. Like, we want to give you $250,000. And I was blown away, you guys. Last thing I ever thought I was going to be is a trader. So legitimately, I was paper trading for 2 years, learning how to trade, okay? Learning how to trade. That's the secret. Right? Imagine if they would have given me what do you think would have happened if they would have gave me $250,000 when I first walked in, not knowing anything? Do you think I would have made money? No. Right? I would have lost it all. Oh, of course. You know how much I learned in 2 years? Every trade, every quarter, earnings season. And these guys at the table would literally, they called out all their trades. They explained why they were getting in, why they're getting out. It's actually a pretty easy system. But you had to practice. You had to learn which stocks go with which stocks. And you had to learn some basic stuff. But after 2 years, I was a master. And I was the rookie of the year my first year. I made over 6 figures. They gave me another $250,000 to trade. And they gave me a $250 gift certificate for Peter Luger's. That was like the best part. I was more excited about that. Yeah, the money was good, but you needed a lot of buying power back then because everything was really expensive. Microsoft was like $180. Well, I mean, it's getting expensive now, but everything was, and I was a swing trader and I was only trading stocks. So I needed a couple of $1 million to do overnight swing trades. So it was great. It was really great for a couple of years. Then I got pregnant. Well, I got married first, pregnant, and I thought I could do this at home. I couldn't, and I decided I'm going to raise my kids, which I did for the next, 6 to 8 years. I had them back to back. And then, I got back involved in the market online. I discovered online trading rooms. In fact, my neighbor was running one, and he asked me to come in, and I was like, sure. And I started coming in. I started talking about the dark pool. Nobody knew about the dark pool. It was crazy. What do you mean? What are you guys doing? I started to teach for him. I started to run his room. One day I asked for a raise, and I got fired, just to make it short. That's okay. I started my own room back in 2013. I went on tour. My mission is to teach as many people as I can about this. I feel so blessed, you guys, to have this knowledge. I do want to share it with everybody. So I was on tour with Larry Berman. You may have heard of him if you live in Canada. He's on BNN every week. He runs the $1 billion hedge fund. So lucky to get on tour with him. He put me on a 6-month interview. I had to share every single one of my trades with him. And then he was like, okay, you're coming on tour. Awesome. All across Canada, 3 tours. I was on tour with the Money Show, Traders Expo. I literally lived out of a suitcase for 8 years, doing so many presentations all over the world, pretty much. And it's been great. My presentations were always full. We had lots of people. Everybody was really excited to learn about the dark pool. My last one, we actually had people in the hallway. They did not give me enough seats. And everybody wants to know, like, what is this dark pool? You know, why does it exist? Yeah, why does it exist and what is it? Well, it's been around forever. It used to be called the upstairs room. There's lots of sharks swimming in it. It sounds ominous, but it's really not. It's just the biggest institutions, and it's an alternative exchange where these guys do their trades. That's it. Just an alternative exchange where these guys do all their trades. Why? They have a lot of benefits. They don't have to show us one single share until their entire order is completed. It could take a couple of minutes, couple of hours, couple of weeks. And then once it's done, they have 3 hours to report it. So they could do their trade in the morning, and then 3 hours later, all of a sudden, they show us their trade. It's fantastic. Good for them. It's great for them. Not so good for us unless, of course, we're following it. I'm going to be teaching you the 4 different types of dark pool prints and how to trade them today. Also, back in the day, they had lower commissions. Right now, that we have no commissions here if you live in the US. But back then, they had lower commissions, and they can get filled in between the bid and the offer. But here's the deal. If you knew Goldman Sachs was going to buy millions of shares of Microsoft, and you saw them trying to work their order, right, you would jump ahead of them, and they wouldn't get filled at the price they wanted. And that's really, in essence, why they hide their trades. They don't want anybody to see them until they're done. Once they're done, they don't care. And I think that's why they don't really care too much about me, because I'm announcing it once they're done. But there are hundreds of dark pool trades every day. Do I pay attention to all the hundreds of trades? No, I only pay attention to specific ones. And this is where 27 years of experience comes in, is that I know what's unusual. They're very sneaky. Yeah, they don't think we're looking at specific ETFs, certain trades. And I know after watching this for a long time, what's unusual. So the biggest question I get is, okay, Steph, you got the dark pool on one side, but like, who's on the other side of the trade, right? How many of you are wondering that right now? Who's on the other side of the trade? Everybody asks me this question. Yeah, not a day goes by, right? So we have Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Barclays on one side, and then you have all of us. Well, not anymore, right? I don't know who these people are, but they're not us. Yeah, because we're not going to get on the other side of their trade, right? We want to follow the smart money. They have enough money. They have more money than we do. So until we have more money than they do, we should stick on the right side of the trade. So there are 4 different kinds of dark pool prints. We have real-time prints. And somebody said market makers. There are no more market makers. Are you aware of that? No more market makers. Nobody's responsible to make a market anymore. That's why we have flash crashes. Back when I started, we would see them all. Yeah, we'd see them all on level 2. And all of a sudden they started disappearing into these anonymous books, these electronic communication networks, and the dark pool. So we couldn't see who they were. And now they don't even have to be on the bid or the offer. And that's why we have less liquidity these days, and why we have flash crashes, which is, yeah, a little bit scary. So let's talk about the real-time prints. And when I say prints, I'm talking about a trade that's already been executed. It's done. Every buy and sell is printed in your time and sales window, and that's why we call them prints. So I'm paying attention to the large prints, okay? And real-time prints are fantastic. Yes, but we don't want to trade them the day they come out. And this is the biggest mistake newbies to the dark pool make. How many of you have done it? You traded it the day the prints came out and you found out you were on the wrong side of the trade. I've done it. Yeah, it's pretty rare that I will do it ever again. If I do, I have to put $100 in my tip jar. I only did it 3 times this year, and I lost on all 3 trades. Okay, just letting you know, I don't trade by my gut. Okay, Ramey's guilty. Yep. Okay, so do not trade these stocks the day I post a new push notification on the app or in my trading room, right? Extremely large, holy moly print, bullish above. I give you bullish above, bearish below levels, but don't trade it that day. In fact, you can wait a couple days and then just, I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so they always come out during lunch. Yep, I don't know why they think that we're not paying attention. And if you ever saw this episode of I Love Lucy, when Lucy and Ethel are in the candy factory, and the candy's coming out, and they can't keep up with it, and they're stuffing it down their blouse, and that's me trying to get the prints out during lunchtime. They're coming out so fast and furious, and it's crazy, but I pay attention to the tradable ones, the ones that I find that, hey, we can have a great trade. This is really important. Okay, so the real-time prints have a splash. This is why we don't trade them the day they come out. And they usually splash in the opposite direction of the true intended move. So if they're buying, they move it down. And if they're selling, they move it up first. It's just what they do. They've been doing it forever. You know, these guys used to be on the floor of the exchange. Here's a specialist. And you get a phone call from Goldman Sachs saying, hey, you know, I want to buy 3 million shares of, we'll just say AMC, right? AMC at $52.37. And the guy goes, okay. And the Goldman goes, but I don't want to pay a penny more. So what do you think this guy's going to do? He has to get this order filled for Goldman Sachs, right? He has to buy, 4 million shares at $52.37. So he pretends that Goldman Sachs wants to sell. In fact, he sends out a little people in the pit to whisper, oh, I heard Goldman Sachs is selling. Did you hear? He's selling AMC, right? So these guys start selling, sell, right? And then the specialist starts sweating or pretends to be sweating as if, he's got to take the other side of the trade. Yeah, he's a market maker. So he's like, fine. And they push the stock down to like $50 and he buys it all. And then he calls Goldman Sachs and he goes, I got it done. And so this specialist just made $2.37 on 4 million shares or whatever his cut is. He probably gives a cut to the people out in the audience. And then, it causes that splash down and then it goes up. They're still doing this. Okay, let me show you a couple of examples. And these are real-time dark pool prints that have been very profitable for my traders and I recently. Okay, these are recent. I put all new slides in over this weekend. So if you have the dark pool app, you would have seen this on June 11th. I posted TGT target, very large 600,000 share print at 232.61. If you click on it, it'll give you all the information there. And I give you bullish above 234, bearish below 230. Now, I do a subscription called the Dark Pool Insights for swing trading. How many of you have this one? It's $37 a month. It's really affordable. This is my homework. These are the trades that I personally take, by the way, because I'm a swing trader. And what I do is I scour all the dark pool prints from the entire week. Yep, I go through all of them starting on Friday night, and Saturday morning. I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do my work. And is that loud? I'm sorry if you guys are hearing loud construction noises. I apologize. They're redoing the Hotel Del across the street. It's the loudest all day. So yeah, that's what you're hearing. I do have a buffer around the microphone, but yeah, that's all right. Yeah, they're just building a hotel, a convention center, actually. So hopefully I'll see you guys there in a couple of years. I'll do a presentation over there. Anyway, back to the Dark Pool Insights. When you're doing a live webinar, you never know what's going to happen, so you just go with it. So the Dark Pool Insights, I scour all the dark pool prints that I think, as I miss a lot during the week, and I study them. I draw trend lines on my charts. I'm going to show you one that I did, and I map out I do all the homework for you so that you don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock. You could sleep late, go to the beach, go play golf, and then I do a video. It's a video newsletter, kind of with slides that look like this. So this is from, this is recently, yep, from June 11th, the week of June 11th. So we got that print for 600,000 shares. And I share with you the seasonality. I love seasonality. I use seasonality, trend, and the dark pool to map out my swing trades. I call it STD, so you don't forget that. Seasonality, trend, and the dark pool. Okay, you guys think you could remember that? All right, STD. So seasonality, over the last 20 years, target goes up from the beginning of July all the way to September. Okay, all the way to September. So on the left is the daily chart where I map out the trade for you. And I was bullish above 235 and bearish below 230. So let me show you what the splash looks like. So we get the dark pool activity that came in on June 11th. Okay, you can see it splashed down on the chart. And then it went up. Now I'm using two moving averages that I would love for all of you to put on your chart today. They're free. Trust me, they will change your life tremendously. Okay, it's the 4 exponential moving average, the 4 EMA, it's an exponential moving average, and the 8 EMA. Why exponential? Exponential is different than a simple moving average. It puts more weight on recent price action. So 4 days, it's going to put more weight on the last 2 days. And as a trader, right, we want to get in earlier, as early as possible, not too early. We don't want to be splashed, but we want to get on momentum as it's beginning. And the 8. So when the 4 kind of goes above the 8 and we have space, when the pink line goes above the 8 and we have space, and this is only a daily chart. Every candle is 1 day. I'm not talking about a 5-minute. No, this is like a yearly chart. Each one is a day. Okay. When should we enter this trade? All right. We should enter this trade right there on the 21st. Why? It closed at 233.77. Is that above the print or below the print? Right? The trade happened at 232.61. Above it. Excellent. All right. So Chuck is having issues. Just go ahead and refresh your page, Chuck. You should be seeing the chart. Okay. Yeah, the trade happened. The dark pool happened at 232.61, and on June 21st, after it splashed, it moved up on June 21st and closed at 233.77. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a textbook entry on an overnight swing trade right here. Okay, this is what I learned from Scotty, my boss. I've been doing this for 27 years. Now I could show you, slides from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but you're going to want to see something that happened recently, right? So yeah, it's still working. It's still amazing. Yeah. So is it above, Randy, the big volume bar of the day before? Is it above Goldman Sachs trade, Randy? Yes, as long as you're on the right side of the prints. And it closes strong. Again, there's a couple other things. I can't teach you everything today, but this is my textbook swing long. And, it's phenomenal. And look, it went off to the races. Just to kind of show you the rhythm of the splash and how it moves. Okay, 5% gains on the stock in 9 trading days. Now, I'm sorry, guys, but 5% gains is not enough for me. No, for my money. If I had 1,000 shares of this stock, $232,000 in one trade, It's not, but if you trade options, your ROI is ridiculous. You can make 100% ROI quite a few times on this trade. All right, so I'll show you a couple of things in a little bit. But so I follow the stock, but I trade options because again, you don't need a lot of money, and the ROI is ridiculous. Okay. So let's go into the Java Pit trading room. So this is my live trading room, and my traders and I call out our trades all day long. We work together as a community. I've personally trained and mentored every single trader, has gone through an intensive 70-hour all live trading boot camp workshop before coming in. Why? I want to make sure they know what they're doing, because again, this is the room that I trade out. I want the best of the best next to me, and I want to make sure they're trained properly. So let me just take you inside and just show you how it works in there. So Patty B, you can see up top, called out target, and we put a $sign before a stock so we can distinguish it from a regular target, obviously in this case, and BA, bullish above. So my traders have my insights, they have the whispers, they know the prints, and they all call out stuff. So Sean wrote target, getting it. Patty B, target worth watching, WW. Patty called out again, target above R2, that's person's pivots. Patty B got into it. She took profit at 284. She paid 237 for her options. She called that high today. She got out of her last quarter, $3.15. Paying 237, so the ROI is phenomenal. Pinky, one of my oldest traders in my room, she's been trading for 50 years, probably a little bit more. She wrote target, DPI is dark pool insights, bullish above 233. Kind of show you the shorthand. Patty wrote it might be ready for the next move, and Pinky wrote I'm in, thanks for the dark pool insights. You're very welcome, Pinky. You can see Jane, she's one of my instructors in the training pit. She called out that Target and Walmart have seasonality starting right now. Patty goes, good, I'm in it. And then she did another trade. Look, she made 100% ROI on those options and so forth. So just want to kind of show you how it works and you know, working together. When I started out in this industry, again, when I started out, it was all live. I was at a real trading desk with traders next to me, and we were all calling our trades out. We had clerks across the table. And I got to say that, you know, I would have missed thousands of trades if I didn't hear Frank next to me calling out, buy Microsoft, buy Cisco, buy Intel. But I mean, this is how we traded. We all worked together. So I never traded by myself. I know trading by yourself could be really dangerous. Definitely. You're not accountable. People don't know what you're doing, and you usually end up holding on to unsuccessful trades. So what I love about my room is we're all accountable, which is especially myself. I call out all my trades in the alert tab. So I know a lot of you might have the Dark Pool app. I developed the app. A lot of traders in my room told me that they couldn't be in my room anymore. They had another job, or they had changed jobs, or they moved, and could I please just text them when big stuff is happening? And of course I can't do that. But you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars later, we developed an app. If any of you have ever developed an app, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, not an easy thing, but we developed an app. It's great. I send out push notifications all day long. It's only $19.99 a month. And you'll see that, you know, here's my recent call outs on Apple and Apple. How many of you have been trading Apple lately? Apple, why has it been going up? It's a beast, because look at all these dark pool notifications I have been sending out. Yep. Now Apple reports another blowout quarter with sales up 54% and authorized a $90 billion in share buybacks. All right, there's the news. We started getting big prints actually back in February, before April. Oh yeah, they definitely started before, okay? 10 million on February 9th at 136.71. Okay, huge. More prints came in on April, of course, another 5 million. So these are all notifications in the training pit and the Java Pit training room. I posted in the alert tab. So if you're in the training pit, you don't need to have the app as well, because you get everything in the training pit, plus I share my screen all day. But I do have people that have both because they can't be there all day. But these are just the notifications from there. I showed you the ones from the app. And here was a 12 million print on May 11th. Here's another one. Again, massive prints coming in. I personally traded this back in April. I like to do call debit spreads. So in the alert tab, I bought 130, 131 call debit spread for 25 cents. Again, it doesn't matter if you do trade options or not. What matters is knowing when to go long and knowing when to go short. So if you want to learn options, we teach options. It's changed my life. I switched over 6.5 years ago, and I'll never trade stocks again personally, because again, I like to go to sleep at night and be long Apple, and it cost me $25 a contract. Yeah, which is great. I want to buy 400 shares, it's $100. 800 shares, 1,600. It's awesome. So I'm just showing you that I paid 25 cents for these, and I sold them for 40 cents. And then I rolled. I like to roll, taking my profits in, and then doing less contracts, buying cheaper options. So I did less contracts. I bought cheaper ones for 23 cents, and then I sold those, 46 cents. And I rolled and rolled and rolled. You can go slower through this, but these were a whole bunch of my trades on Apple. Again, this is how I personally like to trade it. Again, following the massive prints, and then catching the option chain off guard. Cheap. I buy out of the money options most of the time. Okay, so please, paper trade, do not do this with real money until you really learn and you've been properly trained. So June 21st, I did a dark pool insights where I introduced Wyckoff. Yeah, how many of you are not familiar with Wyckoff? Wyckoff is amazing. Not you? Yeah, I didn't know about him until 2013. He's amazing. Yeah, well, he's no longer around. Yeah. So he learned from Jesse Livermore and a few other great traders, back in the early 1900s. Yeah, and there's a Wyckoff price cycle. I love it. We have an accumulation pattern where the dark pool is buying, and we have a distribution area where the dark pool is selling. So let me just kind of show you a chart. And again, this is in the insights. If you go back, I go into great detail. Once you subscribe to the Dark Pool Insights, you can go back 2 years and watch all the videos. And I teach so much in all of them. So I really want you guys to really learn this. So I just want to show you that they sold at the top. Here on the right, we have a project in the Java Pit trading room where we keep all the dark pool prints in. One of my traders developed it. A couple of them work on it. We input all the dark pool prints in it so I can quickly go to any stock in a matter of 2 seconds and find if there's been any dark pool activity in the past couple of years, which is super cool. So here is just, all the Apple prints from April, and you can scan for any size. It's incredible. Anyway, April 29th, 3 million at the top. They sold right there, and I showed you we had bearish engulfing candles. It's a distribution. Once it broke below the ice, it gets marked down. And then we went through an accumulation period where you can see all these prints happened at the bottom. And this was my chart from that Dark Pool Insights in June. Bullish above 132.50, bear below 128, and you can see it's gone up. Now in the Java Pit trading room, my traders did really well. Joanna exited out her calls, $2. She paid $66 and sold them for $2. Brenda, she bought the 150 calls for 67 cents. Mary Beth bought the 139 calls. Patty, here she goes. Patty's very busy. Yeah, she's a great trader in my room. She made 100% almost. Miriam also did really well. Again, just a couple of them. I'm not going to sit here and show you all our trades, but just there's Mary Beth's trade. So here's another recent one. Microsoft, and if you have the app, on May 5th, extremely large 2.6 million prints. There's the details. And in my dark pool insights that weekend, yeah, if they're large, I'll cover the trade and kind of teach you and show you the charts. So this was my trade setup from that week's insights. With the, again, I always post the prints, and I give you the entire trade with all the targets. And you can see 11% gains since the dark pool entered. Here's in the Java Pit trading room. Microsoft worth watching above the prints. That's me with the W, posted that. Patty B also called it out. Brian, high of the day. Howard H. You can see if one person misses it, 4 other people are going to call it out. We're all watching for the same thing. Ricky is our options whisperer. In fact, I think she's doing an options meeting right now in the Java Pit. She did a spread trade on it. Kevin took a trade on it. Again, you can see all my traders. Yes, Pinky was long. It was a nice pop overnight. It's just really, it's still going, Microsoft, since then. But there's the dark pool. Entered it, and off it went to the, oh, this is not Microsoft. This is IEZ. Let me just go back a second. IEZ. Have any of you ever heard of IEZ? IEZ. No, I'm gonna be honest. I never heard of it until April 27th, when it appeared on my dark pool block trade indicator. Okay. Never. I saw this 9.2 million print on it. Okay. I wrote, holy moly. Yeah, it's on the app. 9.2 million print. It's oil. It's an oil equipment and services ETF in April. Now, mind you, about a couple weeks before that, we had another print on IYE. I didn't put it in this PowerPoint, but I got splashed. I thought they were selling oil, and they weren't. They brought it down lower so they could buy more, and that's okay. My first trade didn't work out, and then I had, oh my gosh, like 12 trades to the upside. So I got splashed, and I waited. And I still got splashed, but who cares? I don't care if I lose on my first trade. Again, these options are really cheap. I made money on the next 10. I traded Schlumberger personally, and I believe I share a lot of those trades in the dark pool insights. But I rolled it numerous times. Gold, here's just another one to kind of show you. We got this big print on GOLD back in April. Now, it doesn't always splash, number one. Sometimes it just goes straight up. Sometimes the splash is a couple days. Sometimes it's a week. If they're not done entering, they'll keep it in the same spot for a while. They did that with PBR recently. Yep, now they moved it down this morning. Actually started yesterday. But it's a little bit different. And again, you gain the experience the more you do this. So here's one, TJ Maxx. I literally just exited my last half today, but we had this big print on TJX, TJ Maxx. There's the app and the description. 2 prints. Yeah, one on June 8th and one on June 25th. So they didn't move it until they were done. And I put it in my dark pool insights as well, showing seasonality is really bullish. And this was my bullish above, bearish below. I'm always using the daily chart. I show the prints there. Yeah, this is one I personally took. And I entered early. So the dark pool entered. I entered after the first print. I didn't know that they weren't done, but that's okay. When you do vertical spreads, you could be early, you could be a little late, and you'll still make really good money. That's why I love doing spread trades. But I bought on June 11th, I bought the 67.50/70 call debit spread, July 16th. And then we got that next print on June 25th. And I said, oops, they're not done yet. That's why they held it down. And then July 1st, I got out of half, 95 cents. I paid 59, a little bit more expensive than normal for me. I usually like 20 to 30 cents. And then I got out of my last half at 87 cents this morning. I just want to show you something. I'm just going to hold on a second. This is the Java Pit Trading Room. I'm just going to show you what Ricky's doing a meeting right now. But just want to show you. Let me just make this, see if I go to let's see if I can pop this up. Hold on a second. Might be a little stubborn because I'm sharing the screen. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. Oh, I don't want to do a poll. Hold on a minute. It's a little sluggish. All right, maybe this is not so easy then. Okay. I wanted to just show you the tab where I put my trades in, but for some reason, all right. I'll do it again. It really wants me to send a poll. I'm not going to do. All right. I'll do it again when it chills out. I'll bring it back in again. But just to show you that it's really important when you're learning how to do something. It doesn't matter if it's trading or not. It's really important that you learn watching somebody do it. Right? If you're cutting hair, right? If you're learning how to cut hair, it's really important that you watch somebody do it, you study under them, and you kind of side by side do it as they're doing it. If you're a doctor, it's important you go into surgery, right? And watch a doctor do that operation quite a few times before you do it yourself, right? The same goes for trading. I was really fortunate to be able to sit next to not just Scotty, my boss, but this guy, Mike Hahn, who is fantastic to the left of me. I mean, ridiculous traders, so good. And they talk their way through. Hey, Steph, I'm buying it because of this. I'm selling it because of this. I'm buying it because of this. Do you see this? This is great. And so when I, came on to teaching, I said, you know what? I really need a live room and I need to show people, teach them while we're trading. So I do 2 meetings a day and I literally walk you through why. I go through the option chains and show you why I'm picking these strikes over those strikes, why I'm entering now, where it's going to go, what I expect, where am I going to exit? Because this is so key. All right, it's so key to learning how to trade. And I think you guys will all agree with me. Most agree. Educational. So it's an educational room. If somebody's doing something that is not right or going against my strategy, I will go on the microphone. I don't yell at people, but I go on the microphone and say, hey, John, why did you do that? Did you realize the print is above you or below you? Or, hey, this strike is better. Or, hey, it's 9:32. It's not a good time to enter. It's a shakeout period. Or you should wait till the end of the day to enter your swing. I am there to, mentor you, hold your hand through the trades. And so you'll see a lot of the traders follow along. And it's great. So here's another one. PG, it's a trade I'm currently in right now, which is, I love this trade, okay? So we got this big print at 1.5 million on June 11th at 133.90. Here's big prints. Here's the description in the app when you click on it. And in my insights, oh, forget about it. This is the best. Look at the seasonality. This stock normally goes up from July to December. Okay, I've taken this trade a few times, every year actually, when we have dark pool prints. I didn't take it last year. The year before, I did a blog on it. If you go to my website, thestockwhisperer.com, I have all my blogs there. You'll actually find a blog I did about this, and it was fantastic. So this was the trade setup for the insights that I did in June. All right, this is the chart setup. Bullish above 137.50, bear below 132.50. Here's the dark pool, and you can see the splash, right? There's a dark pool. I bought August 20th. I went out far to August, and I bought really out of the money. 145, $10, 10 to 15 bucks out of the money. 33 bucks I paid for these options, okay? Amazing. Would you risk 30 bucks to make 450 on this trade? You guys tell me, would you risk 30 bucks to make 450 bucks? It's like a no-brainer all day long, right? I love options. Okay, this is why I fell in love, and I'll never trade a stock again. Okay, so yes, we've established we'll do that. This is the actual option chain. But they're actually only there were less when I. Oh, hold on a second. Just oh, I had to just turn off the Java pit. Sorry about that. So this is Procter & Gamble option chain for August 20th. Buying the 145 calls and selling the 150 calls. And actually, they were 23 cents. They were cheaper when I took this picture, but they kind of have a decent spread here. So you pay anywhere in between. Where are they today? Let me just check out and see where they're today. I got into another trade though also, but let me just clear it and see where these guys are today. Hold on a second. 145. They're 32 cents right now. Yeah, so they went, well, Procter & Gamble, the price went up today, as you'll see. But even so, it's fantastic. So I bought this trade. Again, I don't care. If they don't make money, and here maximum loss, right, 23 or 30, maximum profit. I don't expect to make the maximum profit. Let's just get that clear. No. But even if you double, triple, quadruple, yeah, it is awesome. In this case, I started further out, and now I'm working my way in. I do things a little bit different each time, this trade. So we did go up. This is today's chart. Yeah, this morning I took this picture, and you can see we broke out of resistance, and it popped to 137.50. So yesterday, all right, I bought the 138, 139 call debit spread for July 23rd. Yeah, I bought those for 27 cents, and those are up quite a bit this morning. Yeah, closer to the money again. These are all things that we teach. We're actually doing an options boot camp next week on Monday. So you may be interested in that. If you don't know anything about options, the first week is just for beginners, learning all the Greeks, the basics. Paul, one of my instructors from the training pit, we call him the alien. Phenomenal. He's going to be teaching that. I will be there to assist, but he's teaching this class. So awesome. So anyway, this is the real-time print. Does anybody have any questions before I move on to other types of prints? Yeah, I will be giving you all the links, yep, at the end. Or unless you want to post it in there, Paul, yeah, or Matthew, but I will be giving you links in the alert tab. For the options boot camp. Yeah, so Jay wants to know, so you hold them for a couple of days. You know, here's the deal, Jay. When you're following the dark pool, and if your timing is good, you don't have to wait long unless they're still forming a position. So I personally like to buy more time if I can, and it depends on many different things. Yeah, it depends on the day chart. Is there anything else in the way? What my target is, and how big the prints are. So again, I've taken 19 trades. I did one on bonds a couple of years ago. We had massive prints on TLT, and I did 19 rolls over a period of a couple of months. So I'm not here to peg the top. I'm not here to peg the bottom. I'm here to grab the meat. I'm here to put on low risk, high probability trades all day long. That's all I do. Low risk, high probability trades. Again, following institutional money flow, following the trend. If seasonality matches, fantastic. I never trade seasonality alone. Gotta have the dark pool. Okay, that's just number one. Okay, so there's quite obviously I can't teach you everything today. I'm probably enough to make you dangerous, but again, I'll show you where you can learn. You can learn everything at the end if you want to take it to the next step. Again, I'm doing this today to kind of give you an introduction. I know a lot of you have the app, you've been following me, and I really don't want you to make rookie mistakes. So that's why I am doing this webinar today. So I want to go over the sell prints. Late dark pool sell prints. I have called the last 19 out of 19 corrections before they've happened on my dark pool app, on social media, or in my live trading room. I have 19 for 19 in a row. Am I psychic? Some people think so. Maybe just a little bit. No, I'm not. I'm not psychic. I'm a tape reader. I'm an old-fashioned tape reader, and I've been doing this for 27 years. Am I intuitive because of it? Of course. You know, I'm a woman. Us women are a little bit intuitive. But no, you guys can have my crystal ball too. Okay, I'm going to share that with you today. All right, this is crazy good stuff. So these are trades that are not 3 hours late. Nope. These are illegal. Yeah, there's a loophole. Okay, there's a loophole. I'll share that with you in a minute. But these are 24 hours or more. Okay, we call them the Levi's because they always have a signature share size. They start with 500 and 1,000 shares. So it could be like 501,642, 501,411, 501. They would be coming across my time and sales window, and I would notice them because I have mine color coded. Yeah. So in orange, if it's higher than where it's trading, so I'd see these huge orange trades flying by, and I'd be like, what the heck is this? And they're all start with 501, and I would look it up on the SPY. It was always a SPY. And I'd say, well, we never traded here today. How is this possible? And it pissed me off. You have no idea. I'm like, this is illegal. You're supposed to report the trade. And I would notice that some days it would be light and some days it would be heavy. And then I started to see that they were doing 502s. Yeah, the tapered leg. 502 and same exact MO. And then 503s, 504s. One day was 505. It was really fluky. We call them Levi's. And of course, we know that it's Goldman Sachs because Goldman Sachs is the biggest guy out there. And Goldman Sachs, coincidentally, financed Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. That's kind of a coincidence, right? We laughed at this. And then Paul shared this with me one day. Steph, do you know that Gus Levy, well, we can call him Levi, do you know that he is the guy that pioneered block trading? And yeah, he worked for Goldman Sachs between 1933 and 1969. And he pioneered block trading, which is where we have all those dark pool prints. And coincidentally, his name was Levy. And here he is behind that, I don't know, plexiglass glass, watching his traders. And coincidentally, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan led the sale of Levi Strauss. I don't know, it's a lot of coincidences, but whatever. So when I wrote my book, in my book, I shared with you that the dark pool signature share size is 501 for the SPY. The NASDAQ, they like to do 410, 411. The Russell, they like to half the Levi's. They call them half Levi's. 251, 253. The Dow Jones, all right, these guys half. We don't get too many on the DIA, but when we get them, it means a lot. When my book came out, I guess they caught wind of it because Nigerian, not John, my buddy John, he read my book and he decided to announce in front of everybody, hey, the 502s. And when you see those, and oh my gosh, all of a sudden people were coming up to me. And all of a sudden, literally like the next week, you guys, things changed. Thank goodness my block trade indicator is programmed for, trades that are lower than 500 because they started to half all the Levi's on the SPY, 250, 251, 252. We still get 501s and 502s, but most of them are in half now. They half the NASDAQ. Yeah, the QQQs as well. Now, it really used to freak me out Okay, it really used to freak me out that they were able to get away with this. Yeah, you guys have to understand, like, I'm all for transparency. I am all for the truth. Really pisses me off when people lie, when people aren't truthful. And this is why I expose the dark pool. This is why I have gone out, people say on a ledge, to shed light on this. And share as much as I do. And so I was talking to my friend Larry Berman, who I was on tour with, and all the time I'd say, Larry, look at these trades. In fact, when I was on tour, I was showing his crowd, his huge crowd, would come to his on his tour. And I would show everybody, look at these trades. They're 24 hours late. How could they get away with this? This is illegal. This is so not right. But hey, we can't stop it. But if we see them, we know a correction is going to happen. And guess what, guys? We can profit. How can you profit when a correction is coming? Well, you can sell long-term holdings, or you can buy protection on that, or you can short the market. I like to short the market. I like to buy puts. And you make a lot more money on the way down. In fact, when we had this last crash, I'm going to show you that in a minute, the market lost 3 years of gains in just 3 weeks, and we saw it coming from a mile away. And I'm going to show you that. But here I am. I went down to Miami. No, not Miami. Well, yeah, kind of Miami. Hollywood. Yep. 2014. They have an ETF conference. Bob Pisani was there. He's usually there, right on the beach. It's beautiful. Larry Berman invited me. Said, come on down, come to this. The folks from BMO are going to be there. You really need to, check out this conference. And I got invited to a dinner from really higher up at Bank of Montreal. They picked me up in this Humvee limo, okay? And I'm going to tell you guys, this is where I learned the deep, dark secret. Okay, who would have ever thought? Again, my life has been crazy. Just end up being at the right place at the right time. And here I am in the back of this Humvee limo with all these people going to this, really expensive dinner. And Larry kind of taps this floor trader on the shoulder and says, tell her. She's dying to know. Just tell her. I'm like, tell me. And he goes, listen, he's a floor trader, BMO. When we do a trade from our New York desk and we cross the trade with the London desk, we don't have to report these trades for 24 hours. This is why you're seeing those trades and why these guys are getting away with it. There's a loophole. It's not written anywhere. In fact, when I was writing my book, we have a huge legal department. Everything I had to have proof of everything, which is cool. I like that, right? Because I'm all for honesty and truth. And they call me on the phone, the lawyer, and they're like, listen, in the book you say that there's this loophole, this 24-hour loophole, and I couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. I'm like, I know, it's a loophole. They're not posting it. I was like, he's like, should I call that other guy that wrote the Dark Pool book, Scott, whatever his name is? Should I call that other guy? I'm like, no, that other guy doesn't have pictures like I do of the 24-hour. I was like, listen, I'm giving you pictures. It's happening. I'm showing you from my software. I don't care if Google has it. They're not going to have it. It's a loophole, okay? So he started laughing. There literally was silence and then massive laughter as he realized what an how foolish he was, right? He's like, you're right. I'm like, that's why I'm writing this book, because I'm showing you the dark pool secrets. You're just like, okay. So anyway, did we see this big crash coming? There's so much stuff happening. I'm not going into any conspiracy theories, okay? And the big question is, did somebody know this was coming before it got here? Well, the tape did, okay, the tape. So I didn't know what was happening. To be honest, I don't watch the news. I don't read the newspaper. I don't care. I read the tape and I trade off of that. And I've been doing this for many, many years very well. I find that when you watch the news, they need a sucker on the other side of the trade. And so they're telling you to buy something or telling you to sell something because, again, they're on the opposite side usually. Okay, they pump and dump and do all that stuff. So the dark pools started selling in November. I don't know when did the virus get here? January, February, right? Something like that. January, February. Okay. So how do we know, right? How do we know when the dark pool gets heavy? So I'm going to show you the difference between light to heavy dark pool activity on those Levi's. All right. So let me go ahead and show you from November 1st. You know, nothing was going on. And November 1st, see these 502s? These 502s are coming in here. We had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We had like 8 of them. Okay. That's 4.9 million shares. That's a medium level. You know, nothing too much is going on. But check out November 4th. Look at the difference. We got this 502, but look at these guys, 2.6 million. Now, notice that first trade for 502, the price was 306.17. In fact, I'm just gonna draw right here, okay? This is the price. So anything with the same price is considered a Levi. I don't know, they quadrupled this or whatever they did. So they were all of a sudden right off the bat, you guys, and I've never seen this like this, okay? Very rare. Only during massive corrections. There was one other time in 2018, that big crash we had, where I saw them do really large Levi's, but never like this, okay? 2.6, 2.6, 2. All the same price, 306. So I knew something is going on in November. All right, so we got these guys, and then these guys kept coming in all day. So I started to just open my eyes and go, okay, they're heavy. Now, I don't just call a correction when we have one level. I like to have late dark pool sell prints across the entire 3 days in a row, and cross the SPY, the Russell, the Qs, and I like to go below them all, and then I call a correction, okay? But this was like something is happening, okay? Something has changed. And again, we keep track of all these. So just to kind of show you, this is the project that I told you about in the Java Pit trading room. And we keep track. So let me just kind of show you. Oh, here. So here's a big level that I just showed you, 19 million. It's lit up in green on the SPY. And you can see before that, right? 1, 2, 2, 7, 2, 2, right? All of a sudden 19 million. They took it higher. So when a really massive correction is going to happen, they can't sell it all in a week or 2 or even a month. They sell, they bring it higher, they sell, they bring it higher, they sell. And then once we go below the big heavy prints, that's when we crash. And that's just a pattern. All right, they're all different. You know, if it's a really big correction, it takes them longer to sell. So I noticed them doing heavy because they don't buy at the top. You know, we had just moved up quite a bit. They don't just buy at the top, but they started selling 12 more million November 19th. December, big level. December 17th, big level. December 19th and December 20th. This was massive, you guys. Like, I have never seen this massive sell for a long time, okay? Only just once in 2018 where they pretty had, actually more at the bottom heavy when they bought at the bottom. But this was the heaviest at the top that I've seen in my career, I want to say. January, they did it again. Okay, they did it again. And then they sold more in February. On January 24th, I called a correction. So I called it in my trading room because we had just gone below heavy prints, one set or one or two, really heavy. We got other signals that I'm not going to talk about today. There's other codes we've cracked. There's other things that we know. But just to show you the heaviness, I wrote we are below massive dark pool prints. Protection is highly recommended. That was in the Java pit and training pit. Then on Twitter, I also posted this on January 24th. You can go back on my feed. SPY bearish below 330.85 or below massive dark pool prints. Protection is highly recommended. Also posted it on StockTwits. I don't always post on Twitter, but I felt the need in this case to let people, this is going to be massive. All right, and I wanted everybody to know. It was not just the SPY. It was the Russell and the Qs, but it wasn't just that either, you guys. This was something so much bigger. Okay, I started to see massive prints on ETFs like GSLC. Holy cow, massive 6 million print. And it was the first time that I started to see them use ETFs like this. I had to look them up. This is Apple, Microsoft. They use them a lot now, but this is like the first time. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, JP Morgan, huge technology. I made a video on YouTube, January 25th. I put that out. You can go check that out as well. And these are all the top holdings. All right, and they got crushed. But we also had massive prints on Brazil, China, emerging markets, Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Massive. These are all my alerts coming in, starting in December. Okay, January, February, and emerging markets crashed. We had massive unusual prints on BBJP. You can see on February 11th, there was something happening here. I've never seen trades on this one before, and this one crashed. We had massive prints on Norway. I've never seen a dark pool print on Norway ETF, NORW. And I wrote massive unusual. Not a great vehicle to trade, but something is going on in January. Okay, something crazy. Oil, holy cow, massive unusual activity. Oh, here was a video I did, a whisper. We had SLB, XOM, oh, that was Halliburton. Sorry, I went off the page. Halliburton, holy moly. XOM, as you know, got crushed. Schlumberger, Halliburton. Oil D. This thing doesn't even exist anymore. This is the inverse ETN for oil. Never have I seen, huge, massive trades on this. So when oil goes down, this goes up. We don't trade these things, but again, I alerted everybody. There's something really big going on. This is January 30th. XLE, massive trades, large coming in. Oh, 8 million, okay, on XLE. 8 million, ridiculous. This thing crashed. That has, it's an oil ETF, has ExxonMobil, Chevron in it. Oil futures, went all the way down from $60 a barrel to 28. Actually went lower than that, as we know. Ford, holy moly, massive 25 million. That got crushed. We had big prints on AAL, American Airlines, 9 million. And I wrote something big is going on here. February, CCL, as we know, things got shut down. I think the following month later, right? KOMP. This is an unusual one as well. Had Tesla, Apple, Nvidia, unusual 5 million. And these are just some. There were so many more, you guys. It was ridiculous. FCX, holy, this is December 17th, you guys. So, and we don't usually get really large prints on FCX. Normally 400,000 is big. This was 1.4 million, and FCX got cut in half. Now, when money starts going out of the market, it's got to go somewhere. So in this case, it was going into bonds. Yeah, money flow started in the beginning. Not like the whole correction, but TLT, we had a massive 6.6 million print on January 14th. That is really big, you guys. Here's my Twitter feed. I wanted everybody to look at the bond chart. We are breaking out right here, trend change. And you can see we went up quite a bit from there. So lots of ways to make money. Now, when we have corrections, not every time, but I want to say 90-something% of the time, it starts in the Russell or the SPY, and money flow stays in the NASDAQ, the Qs. And then they're the last to correct. So that's exactly what happened. Is the NASDAQ kind of stood its ground until it got really heavy. Right here, 4 million. You can see, so we keep track, and you can see from the bottom, just going up in time, all of a sudden it started to get heavy at 4 million, 8 million, 13 million. Really big. These are the late dark pool sell prints that I showed you, right? So here they are on March, all right, coming in. See, they started halving them, 400, 205, just to kind of show you. Look, I have 3 pages of them for that day, March 2nd. So yeah, so we knew. We knew the Qs were going to roll over. And here's on March 2nd, more. Oh, I have so many pages. Holy cow. So it splashed up a little bit, and then it crashed. So the next question I get is, you know, when is a correction over? Right? When is a correction going to be over? Well, when we see these guys, late dark pool buy prints. So again, the market came down. In 3 weeks, it lost 3 years. 2, excuse me, had a little sneeze there. And we started to see the dark pool buying right here. Yep, late dark pool buy prints were clearly evident on April 6th. So you'll see 502s, and look at all those 251s, right? They really got pretty heavy there. So the SPY was trading at 259, up $10, you guys, up 10 bucks, and they started to show their hand that they bought the day before at 248. Oh, by the way, we bought all of these. Wait, there's more for that day. Keeps going and going. There's a lot. Keeps going all day long. And you see the price kept going up in the market, 262, while they were printing at 248. And there's more. Wait, there's more that day. Look at all these. Crazy. And going and going. And we were at 263. 19 million late dark pool buy prints that day. That's $4 billion, 712 million. What was happening in April? I believe we were still shut down, right? Well, the dark pool was buying. So what happened this week? For those of you that have my app or you're in the training pit, I posted this up. The Russell is below a massive 15 million dark pool level, the IWM, 229, really 81 cents. So yesterday I posted up July 7th, July 6th. We're below it. How many of you were able to buy puts or short the Russell and make some money on this? I did, Jay. Excellent. Noaz. Yep. I did. I've been trading the puts. I'm still in it. Or still below it. Excellent. J-Rock. Well, if you have the app, I also posted it on the app. Well, June 17th, I posted the alert. So that was a while back. And I've been talking about this even on Twitter too. I posted something. the alert. And then yesterday I wrote that we're below it. That's bearish. And you can see that we've gone down, yeah, quite a bit. Yeah, probably more. Again, we're just going to trade it level to level and see what prints come in. All right, it's okay. You know, when my traders come in my trading room, they're kind of like a deer in the headlights at first. So I remember Paul when he came in, like, I don't know, almost 4 years ago, and it was the first correction he witnessed, and he just watched us all shorting it, making all this money, and he was like, oh my gosh, and you know, I missed it. But no, you're not supposed to catch the first one. You're learning, right? The next one, you're going to catch. You're going to know what it looks like. You're going to be aggressive, and you're not going to, yeah, you just buy puts. Same way you go long, you go short. The market goes in 3 directions: up, down, and sideways. And we can make really good money when it goes up. We can make really fast money when it goes down. Sideways, there are great option strategies that Andrew will be teaching you in the Options Bootcamp Week 2, that you can make money on a sideways market as well. You know, again, all different iron condors, butterfly, all that good stuff. So does anybody have any questions on these two? I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff today. Obviously, I just want to share with you the power of the dark pool prints. Nope. Okay, so Roaring Puppy. So I said you tweeted out about Trump suing Facebook and Twitter. Were you bearish? So no, I'm only use the dark pool prints to trade. I post the news so that you can be aware if you are in those stocks of any movement, if there is something coming out. But I'm only going to trade Facebook and Twitter off the dark pool prints, never off the news, because the market isn't rational. It doesn't do what we expect it to do, you know, when it's going to do it. It trades, it's purely technical. And it's these guys, you guys, they've rigged the market. When they buy, it goes up. When they sell, it goes down. What TV does is they try to make rational sense and find a story to go along with it. So when the market's up, they start telling a story about why the market's up. It's because this, let's find a story. It's because of this. They get a bullish analyst to come on. And, you know, it's BS, you guys. It's BS, okay? When the market's going down, they bring up bearish, tell everybody why it's going down. We don't need a reason, okay? We just need a print. And that's it, 1,000%. I never trade off any news, and I don't trade off emotions. And if I'm on the wrong side of the tape, I get my butt on the right side of the tape. My traders know that. I don't go to sleep on the wrong side of the print ever. Sometimes it happens by accident. I wake up in the morning and oops, it looked like they were buying yesterday because we were above it, but they're selling. That happened on PBR. What did? We went and we bought puts on PBR, and now we're rocking it on the short side. It happens. It's not a big deal. You have to have discipline and emotional stability and trust if you want to do this for a living. I don't know if all of you here today want to do this for your career. It's not for everybody. If you don't have discipline, you're going to lose a lot of money. Yeah, if you don't trust yourself or trust your system, you're going to lose a lot of money. If you're not emotionally stable, it's not going to work out well. I do teach my traders. Again, I do have a psychology background. And I always tell my traders, look, you take my boot camp, which is 2 weeks long, on trading stocks. We focus on that. It's really important to learn how to trade a stock first. I tell my traders, not only am I going to teach you this amazing, incredible strategy, but I'm going to also give you free therapy at the same time. So it's really important that we don't put our ego, we don't put ourselves into the trade. There's a lot of traders that don't enter when they should because they don't want to lose money on the trade. So they have to be like 100% sure it's going to move, and then it's too late. They're chasing it. There are traders that don't exit out. They don't trust their plan. They don't get out of trades that aren't working for them. They don't have a desensitization when it comes to unsuccessful trades. I don't care. I don't take it personally when a trade doesn't happen. I've been doing it 27 years. I have tons of trades that don't work out, but I only lose a very little bit of money when that happens. I'm going for massive trades on massive prints. And I don't care if I strike out here and there. But the reason people get wiped out of the stock market is simple. They get stuck. And it's usually one trade that wipes them out. Look at the hedge fund that shorted Tesla. Wiped out. They kept shorting it and shorting it against them. If your first trade doesn't work out, don't put on a second. Okay? Now you're trading with your ego. So there's one more print that I want to talk about, and that's the market on close prints that you see at the end of the day. At the bell, 4 o'clock Eastern, you'll see them coming in on my block trade indicator. We do not pay attention to these trades. These are just market on close orders that hedge funds cannot hold overnight. They don't have a bias. It's the ones kind of in the middle of the day that are so important, okay? So once in a while, there will be something that's like over the top volume. Okay, then we will. And we do see these other trades sometimes later on, but at the ones at the bell, we don't pay attention to that, all right? So this is your introduction to the dark pools today. I hope you guys learned a significant amount today. I really do hope I shed some light on it. We do have, once you go dark, though, you can never go back, by the way. That's it. You're never going to look at the market the same. And it's not a bad thing. We do have lots of products and services if you'd like to take it to the next level and you'd like to learn more. If you don't have the app, oh my gosh, like for $19.99 a month, the App Store, you go right to the App Store, you'll see the Stock Whisperer, Google, go to its Dark Pool app, the Play Store. It's $19.99 a month, believe it or not. I have to pay for my own app. Yes, I do. I pay every month for my own app. It's crazy. Apple is disgusting. And Google, they collect. They collect 30% of all the proceeds goes in their pocket, and they want to make sure that nobody gets it for free, including me, who it's my app. So I have a lot of people say, "Oh, can you give me a discount?" I can't. Okay, I have to pay for my own app. Again, it's $19.99. You get the push notifications all day long, but don't trade those the first day or second day usually. But you get the Whisper of the Day video every morning, which is really amazing. Okay. Now, if you want to learn how to do this yourself, okay, if you want to learn how to do this and learn how to trade, because it's really important you learn, we have this amazing room called the Training Pit. I know a lot of you are in it already. I am doing this from the Training Pit here today, so congratulations on taking that step to educate yourself. It's $99 a month, and we teach you so much great stuff, not just myself. I have 4 incredible instructors, Jane, AKA Airplane Jane, Paul, we call him, everybody's got nicknames. He's our favorite alien, John, who's also Jay the Trader, and Donda, we just call her phenomenal, okay? She's crazy good, and we teach you all different things, how to set up your software, all different platforms to get the dark pool, Schwab, Thinkorswim, Tastyworks, DOS Trader Pro, Interactive Brokers, TradingView, TradeStation. I teach every Wednesday. Yep, I go over the whispers, I go over the dark pool, I teach you a little bit of psychology. We get you ready. Yeah, we get you ready. If you want to jump into my trading room, the Java Pit, jump into the boot camp class, you have to take my 2-week boot camp class. But traders were jumping in there first and realizing I don't have my software set up. I don't know what an ECN book is. I don't know how to draw trend lines. I don't know basic options. I don't know a lot of stuff, and they were lost, which is why we launched the Training Pit. You need just a couple of months in there. Some people like to stay here for a year or 2 or more. They just love it in there. But most people do want to move on and trade with me live and get to that next step. For those of you that are, not ready to go full blown into my 2-week boot camp, I just want to let you know we put out a notification today for 1 day. all live trading with me. And I did this because there were a lot of people that, were honest with me and said, hey, Steph, I really just can't afford your 2-week boot camp. Like, can't you just do a 1-day boot camp? And I did. And it's been a huge success. I do it 4 times a year. And pretty much it's boot camp on crack is what I like to call it. You come in at 3 a.m. if you're on the Pacific, or Eastern 6 o'clock. I'm on the microphone walking you through the whisper of the day, how I map it out, why I map it out. And then we trade it live in the morning. I get you in, I get you out. I teach you how to trade the whispers. Day trading in the morning. We take a little break. Then we come back in the afternoon. We go over the dark pool activity from that past week. And then I get into swing trades in the afternoon. I teach you about swing trading. And we do go over options. I will show you the options, chains, and I will take live trades. If something looks really good, absolutely. My last class, I took quite a few trades. So it's recorded. And for this week only, we are giving you 50% off the 1-day workshop. It's normally $500, $499. This week it's $249. I'm going to give you the link to it right here. Give me a second. It's on the darkpools.com. But if you use the coupon half off, yeah, if you go to the darkpools.com, go to live classes, you'll see the 1-day. And it's a lot of people take the 1-day and then they take my boot camp because they really, again, they found great value in it. So that's another way. Again, so we have my book. If you have not gotten my book, if you live in the US, there it is for free. Just go to the darkpoolsecrets.com. If you live outside the US, if you go to my website, thedarkpools.com, I'll send you an autographed copy. And you can check out, my websites and all that great stuff. Oh, great, your book just arrived to Canada. Yay, awesome. Awesome, so great. Enjoy it. I teach you a lot. And again, I'm, happy to take it to the next step if you want it. I really only want to work with traders that are serious. And I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat it for you. I'm not. I know there's a lot of people out there, oh yeah, no, you're going to learn this in 1 day. You're not. Okay? It's work. Do we make it look easy? Yes, I make it look very easy, but I put a lot of work into this. But I'm going to teach you 27 years of knowledge in 2 weeks if you take my 2-week boot camp. So it's definitely drinking from a fire hose, but then you get to practice it with me every day in the Java pit, and ask me questions. I'm always in the room trading every day live. So that's it. And if you guys have any questions, we're here to help you. Here's my personal email, Stephanie@thestockwhisperer.com. Feel free to go ahead. Yeah, the trading pit is for beginners. So here's what happens with the app, Max. If you don't know how to trade and you're getting these notifications, you can really mess it up, right? You don't know how to trade. So that's why the training pit is really the best place to start. And it has all the notifications, it has everything. And you get to watch me do the Whisper live every morning. I record it live, which is great. And here, I'm just going to give you a link for the training pit as well. Copy in the alert tab. Okay. Okay. So people get the app, and because they think, hey, for $20 I could trade, right? And if you are a seasoned trader and you understand how the dark pool works, yes, it's phenomenal. But if you're not, people realize that they probably have to get an education, right? And I developed it really for my traders that I've already trained, but now they couldn't be in my room, or they're on vacation and they want to know what's going on while they're away from their computer. Okay, so we have a recording. Yeah, the training pit is all day. It's open 24/7. all of our, here, let me show you something. I can show you what goes on there. Hold on a second. If I could just move one thing around, just give me a second. Here's a schedule. Okay, yeah, my computer's acting a little funny before, but here we go. So we have all different presentations every single day, and they start at 11 o'clock Eastern because my traders, my instructors, they're traders. So we do all of them at this time of day between 11 and 2. They're all recorded as well. They're live, so you can ask questions if you're there, but they are recorded and put in the room drive for that week. So if you're a member that week, you get all of the recordings. So it's a great way to learn while you're, doing another job. A lot of people come to me while they're working other jobs, which is great because you're here to learn. And then once you really learn and start trading, a lot of people end up obviously retiring eventually. And that's really what happened to a lot of my instructors. Yeah. So I put a lot of people out of retirement. They came back into trading. All right. Any other questions from the trading pit? Let's see. So no, Skip, the one-day boot camp will not allow you to get into the Java pit. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Look, I'm teaching you a lot in one day, but not as much as you need to know. I wish the boot camp that I teach is a month long. Honestly, I say that every time. It's all live trading, but there's so much you won't understand a lot of stuff. Again, it's complex. My trading room is advanced, and in order for me to get you to that level, I have to personally, do the training. Okay. All right. Who?
Karen.
Karen? I don't see Carol's question. If I missed your question though, just feel free to email me. I promise we get all the questions answered. Okay. All right. So is this different than how to profit off the dark pool? So how to profit off the dark pool is, it's great. I show you many different corrections in that one. The money flow changes and the corrections vary, which is really cool. And there's a lot of great knowledge in there. Yeah. So again, you learn each workshop that I've done. Yeah. If you go to our store here, I have tons of workshops. You can check them out. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, I know it's tough to be here 2 weeks straight. We have a lot of people skip that. And again, I was a single mom, so I get it. I really do. That's really the hardest job in the entire universe. They do grow up, which is great. And it's recorded. So a lot of people are unable to be there all the time. So they watch the recordings and they can be there live when they can. And we have a week in between so that you can watch the first week, get up to date before the second week starts. Okay. Yeah, so we have the training pit, which is our beginner room, and then we have the Java pit trading room, and all instructors. Okay, is she in the webinar?
Yes. Okay.
So I'll get to your question, Carol, in just 1 second. Okay, I promise I will answer it. In order for traders to come into the Java Pit trading room, I personally like to interview you as well. I want to get to know you. Yeah, it really helps me because again, I'm going to be mentoring and training you and teaching you, and I need to know where you're at, what you're having issues with, what I need to work on with you so I could do the best job possible. And I want to make sure it's the right step for you. It's not always for everybody. You may not be compatible for it, or we may not be compatible for you. So we do have an interview process as well. So if anybody would like to, again, just email me and I would be happy to talk to you. Okay. Oh, Carol, where should she start? Okay, with the options. So if you want to start learning options, I highly recommend the 1 week, the boot camp. It's coming up on Monday. But have you mastered trading, Carol? Okay, this is the big question. No, so you should not start options until you've mastered trading stocks. I'm just going to put it out flat out honest for you. This is the biggest mistake because I understand not everybody has $1 million account they could trade stocks in. I get it. I don't want to do it anymore. So you figure, hey, I'll just learn options and then I'll be able to trade. But stocks are the underlying asset. If you don't know how to trade a stock, and you could paper trade it, you don't have to actually do it, just learn it, master it, paper trading it. You have to learn entries and exits on the stock, because the system that I teach, again, is we're trading most of the time out of the money, at least how I trade them, where my entries and exits matter. You want to enter at the right time, you want to exit. I'm watching the stock, but trading the options. Okay, like this morning, I took profit on TLT as it was coming up to the 200 simple moving average. That was watching the stock, but taking profit on the options at the same time. So I highly recommend starting in the training pit. You will learn options, beginner options as well in there, but you will learn how to trade the stock, okay? So really, really important. Yeah, I'm gonna be straight up. Oh, you're so welcome. I want you to do it the right way, Carol. You know, in 2010, Ricky, who teaches options, one of my options, we have three options instructors, Paul, Andrew, and Ricky. And myself, of course, I teach them too, but so really 4 of us. But Ricky came to me back in 2010 when I was actually in my old trading room, well, my neighbor's trading room, and she came in and we just became friends right away. And she's like, can I call you on the phone? I'd love to speak to you. I have an issue. And so I'm like, sure. So she called me on the phone. We had an hour conversation. And I just loved Ricky. I just loved her soul. She had an injury. She's an engineer, extremely bright. She had an injury where she couldn't work anymore. She couldn't drive at the time, but drive to work. And she said, look, I got to make trading work. You know, can you help me? She said, I only know how to do options. I'm really good at options. I don't even know how to trade the stock, though. I think that's where my problem is. So Ricky and I, after about an hour, came to the conclusion. I kind of made a pact with her. I said, I'll tell you what, Ricky, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to teach you stocks, but you have to come in, you have to work your butt off. And if you do, I promise you are going to be successful at this. I'm going to do everything I can. And she said, okay, I thank you. And I'll tell you what, she said, once I know how to trade stocks the way you do, Steph, I'm going to teach you options. And I laughed because I've been in options meetings where I just walked right out. I didn't understand it. It was like condors and butterflies, and I hope it's going to go. And it was so complex. My head rotated. And I'm like, okay, Ricky, yeah, we'll talk about that later, you know? So it's like 6.5 years ago, she goes, Steph, and she was one of my best students, by the way. And she was teaching options in my room every Tuesday. Now it's Wednesday. She would do an options corner, and she would realize that I would not pay attention because she'd ask a question, Steph, do you understand this? And I wouldn't even answer. One day she's like, okay, Steph, I'm going to teach you options the way you trade. Not the way I trade, but the way you trade, because I know the way you trade. And she started to teach me on the spot. And I fell in love instantly because she said, you know what? You know where the SPY is going every day. You map out these levels. They hit the targets. Like, here's how you trade. There's Monday, Wednesday, Friday options. Look, they're 20 cents. Would you buy these for 20 cents? And I said, of course. And so it was like my first day. I doubled my money in an hour. And I said, are you kidding me? How come you never showed me this before? And she's like, because you weren't ready. She was like, you're ready. I was like, okay. And so I'm going to tell you, I will never trade stocks again. But the reason I am so successful with options is because I mastered how to trade stocks. And I get thousands of people coming to me and they're like, no, I don't want to do stocks. I just want to go to options. They don't even know how to trade yet. So this is why, you know, really important to do it the right way. Okay. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you guys. Because again, this is Ricky. She's teaching right now in the Java pit, and she's just a wealth of information. Yeah. All right. Excellent. So thank you guys for coming out. Yeah, so Carol, no coach for the 1 day, yes. For the 2 week, I am under a legal obligation where I can never discount it. I work with a marketing team and I'm not allowed to sell it for less. Yeah, and you'll see it is worth every penny. We do give you 4 workshops that when you take the 2 week, we give you counting the cards, part 1, part 2, part 3, and what's inside the candle. And that's like hundreds of dollars worth of downloadable workshops to get you ready. Yeah, that's what I can do for you, but I just can't discount the 2 week, and I'm sorry. I can do the one day. All right, but I'm just not, I'm not allowed to do that. You're so welcome, you guys. Thank you for coming. And yep, I'll see you on Twitter. I'll see you in the training pit or in the boot camp. Hopefully I'll see you around, and I'm always here if you have any questions. All right, you're so welcome. Have a great day, everybody.